back to the Yarny Cave. My name is Brenda and welcome to B.Y.C Crochet. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss nothing that happens in this awesome space. How about we start with a little bit of positivity? For those of you who are new, I usually start my videos with a little bit of positivity only because yours truly needs it, and I'm sure many of you guys out there would love just a few seconds of some uplifting words. And the name of this of the thought for the day is actually changing your thoughts. And it says, the only way to shift your thoughts is to consciously catch yourself when you think thoughts that don't make you feel good. Do that over and over again, and eventually your thoughts do change. This is a practice and it will take time, so be patient. And this is actually really good because that's something that I do. As many of you guys know, I do suffer with a little bit of anxiety, and a lot of the anxiety that I deal with is, which is for most of us, I think, is the what if. I call it the what if condition. So I've learned to answer my what ifs with answers that are manageable, and that helps to downplay the worry that builds in yourself in reference to your anxiety when you question when those what ifs come up, if that makes any sense. So for instance, the what if I get a flat on the way to work? Well, then I'll just pull over, call my husband, and hopefully he can help me. What if I don't know, what if we have a hurricane and the roof starts leaking? Well, then we'll have to catch the water as best as we can and call the insurance and file a claim. So basically, I'm answering my questions so that those what ifs have a solution. And that's a little bit of a trick that I would, that I practice. So those what ifs, you never know what ifs are going to come up in your life, especially when you have anxiety. Like I said, I call it the what if condition. So whenever those what ifs pop up in my head, I look for answers that satisfy the what if, and then that calms it down. And that's my little trick. So a big what if right now is I'm unemployed. So how do I make ends meet? Well, Brenda, you get yourself another job. Praise God that we don't have many expenses, and you know, I don't have to make the same amount that I was making before to satisfy those expenses. So I don't have the pressure of having to find a job that has the same salary. I can give myself the opportunity to maybe change directions and go into another line of work. Even if I'm making less, I should still be okay financially. Does that make sense? So that's my solution for calming those what if anxiety questions that come up in our heads. So I'm drinking coffee this morning. It's not really morning anymore. It's 12:31. It's my second cup of coffee. And I put it short to show you guys what I've been working on, what my husband and I have been working on. And it's all about blocking boards. I got an order from one of our YouTube friends, and she actually placed an order. I don't know if she is watching, but if she's watching, B's Nana's creation is almost ready. Look how beautiful. My husband is in love with this bee. I found it, I picked it, because you have to have a special kinds of logos to burn on, to use the burner. So I was able to find this beautiful bee, and he is in love with this logo, and he's in love with the name, and he loves this blocking board, and it is just gorgeous. It really is. So quite a few of you have been reaching out and see if I already have some in stock, and I have just a couple in stock, but I must warn you, so you shoot me an email, because some of these are going to be special price because they're not they are still usable for blocking. It's just that the board is not perfect. The only one that is perfect is what I'm going to show you. However, it's pink, and I know pink is not for everybody. But this is a new one that we just finished, and it's a new design. As you can see, it is the pattern for the granny square. And this one says, "Square your granny." Isn't that awesome? I love this new idea that we came up with that says "Square your granny." And this one was actually already painted before we put the design on it. So, but I am so happy the way it came out because it's just very subtle. It is sorry about that. That's actually my husband outside spraying, and my dog doesn't recognize him because he's got a mask on. Give me a second. Let me shut him up. Well, not shut him up, but give me one moment. Like I was saying, so my husband wears like this mesh mask when he's spraying, of course, so he doesn't have to breathe all those chemicals. But anyways, moving right along. So this one's available, and this one is actually for 12 by 12. It is squared. It is perfectly done. When I send these out, they will be sent out with pegs. If you want to order additional pegs, I can make arrangements for that. I have to calculate how much those are going to cost because they are steel pegs, and they're not easy to come by, I should say. So it's a little tricky getting those in. So, but anyways, this one's available. This one is pink. It is already made, so it cannot be changed. What you see is how it is. So shoot me an email, Brenda, the newbie crocheter @gmail.com. I am going to put the email down below, and I can work prices with you, especially for some of the ones I'm going to show you next because they're not perfect. Okay. Even though they look perfect, they actually, I shouldn't say they're not perfect. The holes, the little holes, this one measures, there he goes again, 12 by 12. The problem is that when the board was being cut, it's slightly off. So the board is off, but the squares, the holes, and the actual boarding section, it is 12 by 12 and it is square. This one says got yarn. And this is actually the way it's going to look. It is finished. It's got a clear finish on it. All that needs to happen on these is we need to put the feet in the back, and we need to label the back of the board. So got yarn. And I hope those don't fall. This one is actually slightly smaller. Hold on, let me just double check something because I don't know. My husband is sometimes yeah. This the holes are just short of 12 by 12. It's almost like 11 1/4 by 11 1/4, but it's still, you can still use it to block. It doesn't have any bearing on the block because, you know, unless you're blocking a 12 by 12, you can still actually block it, a 12 by 12. If you're doing a 12 by 12 square, it's still just a hair shy of 12 by 12. But it is still usable, and like I said, the little holes are squared. And this one says "Square your granny," and this one is in a natural color. I love this. I love this design, this new design that we came up with. This one has also been put a finish. This little knot you see here, it's not a nick on the wood. It's actually the wood. It's got a little knot in the wood, so it looks like there's a nick on the wood, but it isn't. It's smooth. I love this new design. This is something that I came up with the other night. I told my husband, I just need to find a nice granny square pattern that is, you know, very common, and we can put it on there. That would be awesome. That would be really nice, and I love it. I love the way it came out. What do you guys think? Like it? And this one finally is one that we were playing with. This is actually a cutting board that I found. I think it was at Ross. And I saw the cutting board and I fell in love with the wood. And I told my husband, can you just make holes in it? It doesn't matter that it's not square, because as many of you guys know, when we have granny squares, some may be 8x8, some may be 4x4, some may be 6x6, some may be 10x10, some may be 12x12, and you can actually square a 12x12 on here, because this is actually in in height it is 12 inches. The holes are. They measure 12 inches. However, in width, it measures 16.5 inches. So if you have a rectangular granny and you want to square that, this will work. And this one says, which is actually something I came up with because it fits me. I don't always block, but when I do, wow. Now this one's not finished. This one still needs the finish on it, the clear finish on it, because I don't want to take away from the design of the wood. And I know it's hard to kind of read it, but in person, it's really clear. And once you put the clear finish on it, the black's going to stand out even more, and I think it's going to be even better. So the O's are little yarn balls. I don't always block. But when I do, here's the little yarn ball. Wow. And that's so true. I don't always block, but when I do, it's like, I mean, the piece takes on a whole new life. And for a small granny squares, it's not a big deal. But when you're working with bigger ones that tend to maybe sometimes shift depending on how you do your granny squares, I know a lot of people don't turn them around. I go one way and then the other way, one way and then the other way. Many people do just go around and around, and works for them. For me, I find going back and forth actually works better. And it really all depends how you prefer to do it. But for sure, there are times when blocking is needed, or even if you're doing many granny squares and you just want to keep them all together in shape, it's perfect for that. I don't know if you guys have seen Jeannie from Butterfly Dreams Crochet and Veronica from Steals the Show Crochet and More. Both of them are using some of my boards, and they're using it not only to block but also to store. And in the process of storing all the 100 granny squares that they're trying to make through this challenge, they can keep them square while getting them stored, while keeping them stored. Because you can get long, I mean, when I send you the pegs, I send you some long ones and I send you some short ones. But you can also, if you're out there and you know how to find, then you can find some really long pegs. Sometimes people use like wooden skewers, and just use those to actually put multiple granny squares and keep them all stored. Now that's an option. It is made out of wood, so you won't damage it if you want to use wooden skewers. But yeah, so this one was like a test. And if you're interested, it is available. Like I said, just shoot me an email and we'll work out a price, one that is right for you and pays for the expense of making it. And yeah, just shoot me an email. Next thing. So, what is on my hook? I hope my hook hasn't oh, there we go. Let me go ahead and put a stitch marker on this bad boy before I lose it. And there is something else I'm gonna be you guys are gonna look out for soon. I'm gonna do a tutorial really soon. But this is hold on guys, let me put this over here really quick, because I just put something on top of something I needed. I put the boards on top of something I needed to show you guys, of course. And I want to make sure I don't scratch these boards or dent them. But I am actually working on this pattern. You guys know I love MJ off the hook. This is my second pattern that I'm working on. This is called the In Bloom Lace Pullover. She does have a video tutorial on YouTube for this, but also if you wanna, from the video tutorial, you can go to her website and you can actually get the pattern free of charge through her website if you don't mind having to deal with all the commercials that are in there. Or if you choose not to do that, you can opt to buy it and you don't have to worry, which is what I did. I bought it, and that way I have it all in my fingertips, and I don't have to keep going back and forth on the website or try to print with a bunch of ads on it. And everything's here together. So it is a beautiful sweater. It is very lacy, very summery, and I am loving working with this. This is what I have so far, and this is, I did add some extra rows because my yarn is thinner than what she's using. So, and I suspect it's not going to fit me, so this may be put up for sale once I'm done with it, or gifted to a friend that is smaller than I am. But this is the body, and let me put it in front of me because I started working on the sleeves. Let me do this so you guys can see. So the sleeves, it would help if I hold it the right way. So you have the sleeve on this side, and you have the sleeve on that. So it's all worked up in one piece. So there's no different pieces you put together. It's all worked in one piece. So this is where I'm at. The sleeves right here, and I'm working right now on working up the sleeves. Then the pattern calls for then a break in the neck, not break your neck, but a break in the neck, and then you start working on the back again, the sleeve portion, and then the body portion. So, and I'm really loving this yarn. This is a Hobie yarn. It is Acacia. This is the colorway that I'm using. You know what? Let me show you. Give me a second. Okay, so we have the Acacia print. It is a Hobie yarn. I'm not sure. You know what? Let me look for you really quick to see if Hobie still carries Acacia. I really love this yarn, but I don't mind working with thinner yarns. This is considered a size 3, but I would dare to say it is a sport weight. So Acacia print is still available. It's 51% acrylic, 49% cotton. It's actually on sale right now for $7.30. Originally $8.50. The colors that they have are, looks like they only have 4 colors. They have one that is called Cantaloupe. It's kind of like cantaloupe color. Then another one that is Fresh Breeze, that is basically blues and tones of blues. And then they have one that's called Raspberry Sorbet, and it's shades of pink. And then finally they have one that is called Fairy Tale, and it's almost like a Easter colors, pinks and purples and greens, and it's very pretty actually. It's got some light green. It's like a very Eastery rainbow. Purples, pinks, light blues, cream, very pale, maybe a lime green or a yellow, but very pretty, very pretty. So these are currently on sale for $7.30. They each have a total of 273 yards, which is some good yardage, but it is a thin yarn, so keep that in mind. So this is what I'm using. This one is no longer available, but they have different colorways. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, this is Hobie print, 51 acrylic, 49 cotton. Beautiful yarn to work with. It's not splitty. It in some cases is splitting up a little bit for me, but the reason is because this particular yarn was made to do, I used it to make a different sweater. I didn't like the way it turned out, and I frogged it. So this is the second go around for this yarn. So I have to be fair And you know, anytime you use a yarn and you frog it and you use it again, there is a chance of splitting, and so that's what's going on. But I'm very happy with that yarn. And one more look. It is almost like a camo kind of look, but very understated. If you hear machines outside, that's my husband once again. And finally, what do I have for you? So you guys know that we have many out there in our community who do diamond painting. I've never dabbled in diamond painting. I bought a diamond painting kit and I still have it down there. I have not touched it, opened it, or anything. Afraid of it, actually. So when I was on vacation, my husband and I went to Hobby Lobby and we came across this particular set, and it was on sale. I think it was 40% off when we were there. And it's a very small set of stickers. It's called Dotsies. And basically there are 3 stickers that you diamond paint, and it gives you the instructions. And I went ahead and did one of them. And this is a good way, even though it says here $10.99, it was I think it was 50% off. So I thought it was a good deal to kind of give it a try, and I did the first one. It comes exactly with these 3 stickers: the flamingo, the pineapple, and the sandals. And I did the flamingo the other day. Look how pretty. I loved it. I love doing this. I thought it was a nice break from crocheting, and just like, you know, it only takes maybe, for me it took about half an hour because I've never done it before, and I was trying to make sure I did it correctly. But it just takes a few minutes to do. It's a good break from doing crocheting or yarn work, and you get refocus on something else, and then when you come back it's just like you're fresh. Okay, let's keep going. So what I did is that I actually put it on here inside this thing, and I put it under my my mouse so that it flattens really good, and the diamonds stick really well. So the kit comes with everything. It comes with the pen, it comes with a little tray, it comes with all the diamonds, the colors, the instructions, and the stickers are in here as well. So I still have 2 more stickers to do. But if you're on the fence about diamond painting and you don't want to intimidate yourself by getting a big picture, get yourself one of these small kits, one of these little sticker kits. You can use the stickers and something that you want to, either you can gift the sticker, you can use it and put it on your laptop, a notebook, whatever, container. I knew that was going to happen. I don't know why he does that. He sees them every week, cutting the yard. Maxie! Maxie! Anyways, if you are on the fence about diamond painting and you feel a little intimidated by it, get yourself a small kit like this and just play with it. Like I said, it's just a good thing to do to take a break from crocheting or knitting or whatever craft you're doing. Takes you away for a half hour, 45 minutes, distract your mind in doing something different, and then you can come back to your fiber arts and continue working on your projects. So what else? I think that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of those out there in the yarning community who are praying for me, praying that I get a new job that has, you know, a good pay, good benefits, that fits me well. Thank you so much. You guys don't know how much I appreciate that. I do have faith in a higher power, and I know that things happen for a reason. I know that God has some great things for me, and sometimes it's not what you expect, but at the end of the line, you realize this is why it happened. And I have faith that God is working his miracles behind closed doors, and he will soon let me know what he wants me to do, and I'm okay with that. Let's see what else. I just want to also remind you to check out, keep an eye out for my channel. I'm going to be doing actually a tutorial for it is the Spike Granny Spike Granny square, but with a little bit of a twist, so keep an eye out for that. And hopefully I can get my hands on that central that I still have not touched. I'm a little intimidated, I must say, by the central, because I've never used a knitting machine, and I'm afraid a little bit of making a huge mess with the yarn. So, but I will get into it, and little by little I will get it going. But once again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for your prayers. I love you. I pray that wherever you are in the world, you're having a blessed morning, noon, night, evening. From the Yarny Cave, peace. I love you guys. God bless, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.